Arthur Sterling never planned on fighting an HOA. He only wanted land. For years, Arthur quietly purchased ranch property across the Montana countryside. Small parcels here, old farmland there. Nothing that attracted attention. Most people assumed he was another investor buying rural acreage, but Arthur had a much bigger plan in mind. Right in the middle of all that land sat a luxury HOA community called Whispering Pines. The neighborhood was filled with expensive homes, gated streets, and ambitious development plans. Its president, Greg Lawson, constantly promised residents that the community would soon expand into the surrounding countryside. New shopping centers, new luxury homes, new private roads. The residents believed every word. But what they didn't realize was that Arthur Sterling had quietly purchased nearly every piece of land surrounding them. One morning, county officials announced a public zoning meeting at the courthouse. Most residents expected another routine discussion about development permits. Instead, Arthur walked to the front of the room beside a giant property map. Then he revealed everything. Every parcel surrounding Whispering Pines now belonged to him. The room went silent. Greg Lawson immediately stood up and demanded explanations, but the county officials confirmed the documents were completely legal. Every purchase had been properly recorded over several years. Arthur owned the surrounding land fair and square. At first, residents didn't understand why it mattered. Then county planners explained the real problem. Future expansion roads would require easements through Arthur's property. New construction permits depended on surrounding land access. Even utility expansion would now require Arthur's approval. The HOA suddenly realized something terrifying. Their entire community was boxed in. Residents panicked almost immediately. People gathered outside the clubhouse, arguing late into the night. Some blamed Greg for never checking surrounding ownership records. Others feared property values would crash. Meanwhile, Arthur stayed calm. He never threatened anyone. He never raised his voice. He simply continued managing his ranches while the HOA fell deeper into chaos. Over the next few weeks, things became worse for the neighborhood. Survey crews returned to inspect road easements. County officials confirmed most future access plans depended entirely on Arthur's cooperation. The HOA board hired attorneys hoping to find loopholes. But every legal review reached the same conclusion. Arthur controlled the land legally. Soon, local news stations picked up the story. Helicopter footage showed the HOA sitting in the middle of thousands of acres of private ranch land. From above, the neighborhood looked completely trapped. The images spread across social media overnight. Residents became furious. At emergency HOA meetings, homeowners demanded answers from Greg Lawson. Some accused him of misleading the community for years. Others worried rising legal costs would increase HOA fees dramatically. Greg tried reassuring everyone. But even board members started losing confidence in him. While the HOA struggled, Arthur kept expanding his ranch operations peacefully. New fences appeared across the countryside. Large ranch gates were installed near access roads, and every reminder of Arthur's ownership made residents more nervous. Then came the final blow. County planners officially rejected the HOA's future expansion proposal. Without surrounding land agreements, the project simply couldn't move forward. Years of development plans collapsed instantly. That night, another emergency meeting exploded into chaos. Residents shouted over one another while Greg struggled to regain control. Some homeowners even demanded his resignation right there in the clubhouse. For the first time, Greg finally understood what happened. Arthur Sterling had never needed to fight the HOA directly. He simply bought every direction they could grow. Weeks later, Greg quietly stepped down as HOA president. The community elected a new board, hoping to repair relationships with surrounding landowners. And eventually, the neighborhood accepted a hard reality. Their future depended on cooperating with Arthur Sterling. As for Arthur, he never celebrated publicly. He simply stood on his ranch one evening, watching the Montana sunset cover the fields around, whispering, "Pines," because in the end, he understood something the HOA never did. Real power isn't always about controlling people. Sometimes, it's about controlling the only road left out. Like, subscribe to Karen Conflict and tell us below. Where are you watching from?